Good day. Hey, Gabriel here with the Icon Capture GPS Intelligence Brief for May 12th, 2026. All right, grant and research portfolio managers, we need to talk because this is one of those boards where if you only look at the opportunity count, you are going to misread the market. Here's what I want to do with you today. I want to walk through the new opportunity flow, the legislative and executive movement, the regulatory and court signals, and then bottom line what this means if you're actually managing a portfolio right now and trying to decide where to lean in, where to stay patient, and where you may be kidding yourself. Quick note before we get in. The GPS demand signal review is still open. 8 seats. The terrain that triggered this session has not shifted. Federal demand signal, 1,000 new opportunities in the pipeline. If you've been watching these briefs and thinking about it, today's board makes the case. Code GPS 100 holds a seat and the 30-day preview. Links in the description. So let's get right to the facts. Over the last 168 hours, GPS surfaced 1,000 new opportunities posted on SAM.gov. 3D632 legislative signals. 0 federal hiring signals across 0 agencies. 22 C-SPAN captures. And all of that is happening while market BCL is 0%, with 0 agencies stalled under the continuing resolution. When we look at the current opportunity flow, it's impressive. 1,000 opportunities in the last 168 hours. But what does this sheer volume mean for grant and research portfolio managers? The top postings like the Blueprint Medicines proposal and the SpecOps Medical Supply Award are front and center, yet their amounts remain undisclosed. This suggests a mystery in value that could potentially disrupt your strategic planning. A dip into the capture ticker reveals that while the volume is high, the board-certified listings BCL percentage is at 0, indicating a potential bottleneck in verified opportunities. The lack of legislative and executive actions paired with stalled efforts, points to a systemic inertia that might be stifling the conversion of these opportunities into actionable projects. From the capture terminal, it's clear that the current market isn't just about accessibility. It's about filtering through noise to find genuine value. This is where managers who read this tape know that raw volume without actionable data is a missed opportunity. When we talk about CR drag, we're talking about the currency of relationships, a hidden factor in grant management. With 0 movement in hiring, lobbying, or court opinions, the drag is evident. It's a market standing still, waiting for a nudge in policy to create ripples of opportunity. For those managing grant books, the lesson here is to not only track the volume, but to be ready when these dormant opportunities become active. Secondary signals like terrain holes, hiring spread, and the absence of court opinions or lobbying clusters are painting a picture of a landscape in equilibrium, but perhaps one that's artificially calm. For those managing portfolios, this is a signal of mispricing. The market isn't accurately reflecting the potential for disruption or growth. No hiring activity and a flat terrain suggest a wait-and-see approach, likely due to anticipated legislative shifts. This quietude can be misleading. The absence of lobbying clusters indicates that there's no aggressive push in any particular direction, a sign that stakeholders might be waiting for clearer legislative signals before making moves. If you manage this grant book, this is a strategic window to position your portfolio for when the market does react. The lack of noise can be an opportunity to prepare your resources and strategies for the next wave. Grant and research portfolio managers should see this as a time for calibration. The market is ripe for those who can anticipate the shifts before they manifest, an opportunity to capitalize on market mispricing. By understanding the undercurrents of these secondary signals, you can align your strategies to move swiftly when the equilibrium breaks. This is the time to be proactive, identifying where smart portfolio moves live and preparing to pivot when the legislative and executive landscapes finally shift. The current market is characterized by a dynamic interplay of legislative shifts and executive actions that are actively reshaping demand conditions. As portfolio managers, ask yourselves, how are current policies influencing the allocation of funds within our sector? Are we strategically aligning our submission strategies to capitalize on newly emerging opportunities? What measures are in place to ensure our portfolio remains adaptable to rapid policy changes? The conviction is clear. In this fluid funding climate, success hinges on a proactive approach, leveraging policy insights to guide strategic decisions. One more time on this, because the brief we just walked through is exactly the argument for it. The capture terminal, same intelligence we just read, filtered to your book, running overnight. The GPS demand signal review is still open, 8 seats. The terrain that opened this session is still holding. Code GPS 100 at communities.theicon.ai/capture the-govcon-elite. Window closes May 15th at midnight. 4.6 million records, 4 verticals ready. Provenance traced from bill to award. Like and subscribe if you're managing a federal grant, research, GovCon, or commercial portfolio. I drop a new GPS brief every weekday. All links, terminal preview, Shipley sessions, live cohort calendar, and the full brief are at communities.theicon.ai/capture/the-govcon-elite. Register free, and it's all there. This is Gabriel. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll need to disconnect you in 5 seconds due